Thanksgiving, and the purpose for Thanksgiving was thanking God for everything we have. But we can look back on Thanksgiving and see how it really was lived. Did you go to Holy Mass? Thank God. Did you pray before eating? Was it a peaceful time with your families? Did you share with the poor, with the lonely? But more than likely, most people just ate and watched TV that day, because that's what Thanksgiving is. Forgetting about God and giving Him thanks, and it's focused again on us. Now we're preparing for another big day that everybody gets together and eats again and watches TV again, and that is Christmas. But hopefully we will prepare and have a different Christmas. One of the big things that we want to do is avoid buying things from all the stores that hate Jesus Christ and won't say Merry Christmas. No one would be buying all these materialistic things, giving billions of dollars of profit to all these companies if it hadn't been for the birth of Jesus Christ. And yet they hate Him. So one way that we can avoid doing this, and of course it won't be popular, but don't buy anything till after Christmas. And the Mexicans have the good tradition of Dia de los Reyes, when they give the gifts, the coming of the three kings when they receive their gifts. But of course, the corporations have gone to Mexico, and Santa's so great. It's like the sick Coca-Cola ad you see along the highway. They have for Christmas, these white polar bears, and they have a Coke, and then it says, "Open for happiness." So all I have to do is open the Coke. If anyone's depressed, just give them a Coca-Cola. They'll be instantly happy. They just open up, drink it, and they're happy. It's that simple. That's all. But everybody is looking for happiness. So that's why that sells. Because people go, open for happiness. Oh, I'll go get a Coke and I'll be happy. And of course it's a lie, but they're still searching for happiness. So the whole thing of materialistic buying gifts, eating, is not what Christmas is about. What is nice are the Christmas lights. And like right across the street here, there's a house nicely decorated. But just before, it was all decorated with horror stuff of Halloween and all that stuff. And as soon as Halloween was over, they put up all the lights and the Christmas decorations. Why are there lights? You might want to remind people. There are lights because Jesus is the light of the world. And because it's so beautiful, as you'll notice, throughout this darkest time of the year, the 21st of December is the darkest, the longest night, there's these lights, these pretty lights around. Why are they there? Because Jesus was born in the darkest time of the year, December 25th, for bringing light and joy and happiness to us. And we can remind people, aren't Christmas tree lights nice? Aren't the houses decorated? Isn't that nice? Jesus was so good. Because people don't know, or they forget. They like all this stuff, but they forget. So how can we now also prepare for Christmas in the right way? First, it is, as we have purple, it's a time of penance. It's a time of self-discipline. So some things that you could do during this Advent to prepare well for Christmas so you can really enjoy it in a spiritual, and when you do in a spiritual way, it will be a very beautiful Christmas, is to shut off the TV, shut off all these electronic things, and start reading the Bible. That's one little thing. have a little more prayer time, or a lot more prayer time, go to daily Mass. We have the Latin Mass here every day at Monday through Thursday at 8:15. And we have it down at church at 8:15. There's Monday, Wednesday, and Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 5:30 in the church. So there's that's another way. The main thing is to be looking at what we could do to prepare. So it's not just preparing for another Christmas, it's preparing for the coming of Jesus Christ. As we heard in the gospel, it says, put up your heads. That means a lot to us who really love what's sacred and really trying to go against all the horror of our culture, of our world, even of our church, all the corruption of sacred things. We're trying to go against it. We're trying to hold what's been sacred for 2,000 years, and everything is against it. Lift up our heads. It's going to come. There's going to be a day we don't have to resist. Jesus will vindicate us. And we look forward to that time when but we got to make sure that in no way are we cooperating with the devil in any way of sin or the culture of sin. We have to be the ones that are the resistance, but that's very hard to be a resistance amidst a tidal wave of pressure and forces from our families, from the culture, from the media. Everything goes against what is sacred and holy and modest and pure and good. And we're trying to hold that little bit, but Jesus will return. And so we hold on like, oh, please come, Jesus, please. We're hanging on with all our strength. And you will come. And talks about the end times, and so I want to read something about why. So first, and some of you, I know, I was looking at the news on my internet today about that actor Paul something who died in a fancy Porsche, yesterday. And anyway, but he's dead, so his judgment came right that instant in that Porsche. So when I die, right there, wherever you die, right there is your particular judgment. But then there will be the second judgment, the general judgment. And you wonder, well, why? We've already been damned. Why do we have to be judged again? We've already been sent to purgatory. Why do we have to be judged again? We're already in heaven. Why do we have to be judged again? Why do we have to go before everything? So this is a good explanation of what. So one thing to really understand when you're listening to this, when we have our particular judgment, like that actor Paul, his body was dead. Just his soul was judged, and his soul went to either hell, purgatory, or heaven. And so, but now at the second judgment, our bodies will be involved in it as well. And the bodies will suffer the consequences of damnation or receive and also participate in the glory of heaven. Although immediately after death, a special private judgment of each soul takes place, God has ordained a public and universal judgment for the following reasons. First, that it may be clearly shown to all how just has been his private judgment. Also, that the body, which has been the instrument of sin or of virtue, may share in the soul's punishment or reward. Secondly, that the justice which they could by no means obtain in this life may be rendered before the whole world, to the oppressed poor, to the persecuted innocents, and that the wicked who have abused righteous, and yet have been considered honest and good, may be put to shame before all. Thirdly, that the graces and means of salvation bestowed upon each may be made known. Fourthly, that the blessed providence of God, which often permitted the righteous to suffer evil while the wicked prospered, may be vindicated, and it be shown on that day that his acts are acts of great wisdom. Fifthly, that the wicked may learn the goodness of God, not for their comfort or benefit, but for their great sorrow, that they may see how he rewards even the slightest work performed for his love and honor. Finally, that Christ may be exalted before the wicked on earth as before the good in heaven, and that the truth of his words may solemnly be made manifest. Nomine Patris et Filii et Spiritus Sancti.